Evening, everybody. This is Pounding Rocks checking in, and this is another Pathfinder pickup truck Supercharged V6 swap update. What is today? Today's the 21st of February, and ta-da! Courtesy of Rock Auto. This is a brand new Spectra premium tank. It was about $100 shipped. Maybe a couple dollars more than that, but it looks the part. Spectra is pretty good stuff. I know Spectra does stuff for like OEM, like big truck companies like International. We used to sell Spectra premium radiators and charge air coolers, so it's not an unfamiliar name. And there it is, and it's got the connection for the hoses, sending unit. Got all the bolt holes for the mounts. So the plan is that I'm going to take the original sending unit out of the old tank, clean that. I've got the new Walbro pump. I'm going to drop that in there with the sending unit, and I got a new O-ring and new hardware. And that will take place to the original tank. And the original tank will go and sit in the other Pathfinder frame that I've got, because I don't really feel like cleaning the varnish out of it. You need chemicals, and I don't really feel like dealing with that right now. I'll do it, but I'm just not going to do it for this project, especially for what I paid for this tank. I'm not really too worried about it at this point. So that is going to be my next project, is I'm going to cut the fuel lines in the back, pull the original tank out, drop this in there, put the shield back up. I'll probably coat it with like Rhino liner or whatnot. I'll tape off the hose ports. I'll put the sending unit in and then coat it with like some kind of bed liner or some kind of Pour 15 or whatever to keep it from rusting, keep it nice for as long as I can. Plug everything in, plumb it, and it should be good there. Yeah, so that's from Rock Auto, and I'm paid about 100, maybe $120 with all that. I tried to get the 5% coupon to work, but my phone has been stupid lately and it didn't want to take it, so I paid full price. Shame on me. In other news here, I have, and I'm going to have to flip a light on to show you guys here this part of it, but I think it's kind of cool. Hold on one second here. All right, let's go inside the cab real quick here. Show you the custom work here. So, I've been dicking with the shifter for quite some time now, and the reason the shifter wouldn't come out 3 years ago when we put the motor in is very stupid situation. It was the plastic bushing here on the end of the shifter. This plastic bushing is actually bigger than the regular bushing, and it was stuck fast, so I ended up drilling out a section of it, sticking a screwdriver in and working it out. So I have a brass bushing coming from GK Tech. Should be here within the next 10 days or whatnot, but that was what was keeping everything from going. Hang on one second, I just gotta make sure I don't have a dog going upstairs. Okay, yeah, that's Blue. Blue is not feeling very good. He's feeling better, but he hasn't been feeling great, and that's a whole other topic. But anyways, so when we go try and put the engine and transmission in this truck, we couldn't get the shifter out, and it was because we were a bunch of giners, pussies. We couldn't get it, we couldn't pull it out. I was afraid of breaking something. So I didn't realize that plastic bushing was what was holding it all up. So we ended up cutting the shifter off right about here and leaving just the stub end in there. And I had plans on stretching it and making a custom shifter, which I did. I made this using a bed frame. But as you can see, just by shifting it a little bit, it's stretched, the metal is stretched, so I just know that this tube wouldn't last long. It would just eventually fold and break, and I'd be up an even bigger creek, because I would have welded it, not realizing that I could have pulled the shifter out the entire time. This is a four-wheel drive shifter that I painted, obviously, but if you look at the barrel here versus the two-wheel drive barrel, this is a two-wheel drive shifter. The two-wheel drives got a longer barrel, and I like that. So I do want to get another shifter like that and use it. So I've still got options here. This is a Xterra shifter. And I really like this because of the bend, the curve. This is factory. I like the curve on it. So, but it's got a small barrel. But what I ended up making was with the bottom shifter piece, I ended up making this. And welded it to a piece of pipe. And I'm going to cut this pipe down to whatever size is necessary to make this fit and work. So it's it should. So it fits in there like that. So now I can actually shift. But the question is like, I want the shift boot, which I showed you guys in a previous video, this shift boot here. I want this shift boot to sit nice. To do that, I've got to get the right height for the barrel. And since it's a 3-inch lift, this barrel is going to be up 3 inches from where it originally was. So, but I don't know if this is the barrel I want to use. And the other option is to cut this pipe down and use the Xterra shifter, which I absolutely love. And I would love to leave it like this. I would. But it's got way too much leverage, and it'll just pop out of gear because it's so heavy with all that extra leverage. But if I cut this shaft down, way down, I could get away with using this crooked barrel and be happy with that. So I've got options, lots of options. I tried a short shifter that didn't really work out. This is another short shifter. This nub here is way too short, it won't even engage. But that's the original bushing right there. That's what was holding me up, and that's different than the bushings these normally come with, because the bushings these normally come with are pretty small. So for size comparison, there's the original, the new bushing. Well, that's a placeholder bushing, but you can see the difference. It's big bit difference, and that's what was holding the shifter in, just making a huge pain in the ass. But that's the next two phases: gas tank and shifter, and then coolant. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up down below. It really helps. I average about 200 views per video about this truck, which I would figure that this truck would be a little bit more interesting to people. I say this all the time, but I would just figure that it be a little bit more interesting than 200 views. But share it amongst your friends. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in another video in the near future. Thank you very much, and Pounding Rocks checking out. See you.